Hello, young creatures. Hopefully, actually, on YouTube Studio, it says most of my viewers are in between the ages of 35 and 44, which, well, I was not expecting that. Anyways, Rogue Planet Army review. I made a post saying that I have basically zero time to make videos involving me actually talking. I found a time to make this one, but I think I might just be doing me talking just for the reviews. So expect for the future that it might be a little bit of a wait for other reviews. It just happened to have I have a little bit of time to record this one. Yay. Anyways, let's jump into the review. I don't want this being insanely long. So, I feel like I'm being a little bit too negative in my reviews. Like, I feel like in my Water Rogue Planets review, the one review where I actually really liked the arc, I felt like I kept getting off topic. I'm gonna try and not do that here because I really liked the Rogue Planet army. I mean, really liked all three parts of it. Were certified bangers. Let's jump straight in with part one, shall I? We start off meeting a not rogue planet, and we start off with meeting a supernova survivor who is just like surviving a star who went boom. Then Planet X finds him, who has black eyes, and also inspired me to draw black eyes on my Planet X plushie. Anyways, I'm kind of mixed on him having black eyes. Like, I kind of prefer the white. And am I racist? What is happening? Anyways, I don't know what this, like, supernova survivor character name is. So I'm gonna call him Kafubadasur. So yeah, if you don't know what Kafubadasur is, it's what Solar Balls Theory thought wise would be. Kafubadasur. Anyways, he starts wanting because, all of his friends are, like, thinks his friends are, like, consumed by the supernova. And I feel like Planet X's eyes should be white in this scene, and I should really stop talking. I think I'm being racist. But, but I don't know why. He's close to a star. I mean, there's a brief scene where you could kind of see his eyes turning grayish. But, like, on PS, it would be cool to see PSO and eyes, like, be white. That would be cursed, but that would be kind of cool. Maybe when all the rogue planets approach the sun in the Planet Revolution, when that comes out, maybe we will actually be able to see the rogue planet's eyes turn white. That would be kind of cool. Anyways, it actually turned out that Planet X did find his friends. Yay! And the friends have pretty bad assets, that's all I'm saying. Like, let's look at these. First of all, the one that's been talking with Planet X is actually just a reused asset of one of Ogle's friends from, like, when it was just Planet X, Y's, Ogle, and two of his friends. This gray one has this eye that has the Pluto eyes, and one's really small than it should be. We have this one that looks like this one was as a reused asset from some of the 3 rocky planets that were playing football in Water Rogue Planets Part 3. We have this one who is definitely a reused asset of Baby Earth. And we have this one who is kind of the only interesting one out of the 4. Because it actually has, like, this little thingy. What is this? With that being said, you could definitely see the weirdness. Anyways, we actually, like, one thing that bugs me is that, like, the Kafubadasur is the only one that talks for all 5 of them. I guess you don't really want all these different voice actors, but come on, man. Come on. Anyways, Planet X is interacting with the rogue planets, and that's when the Lord and Savior, PSO, shows up. It's Onion Face! We need PSO to have more screen time. He's only been in 2 episodes. For someone who they actually get revealed the name of before he was introduced, like, he was the only rogue planet to have his name revealed to the Patreons, and his asset revealed to the Patreons before he was shown. We're not seeing him a whole lot. That's all I'm saying. Like, what is PSO gonna have to the plot? Anyways, I consider part 1 of Rogue Planet Army to be a filler episode. That is not necessarily a bad thing. This is a good filler episode. The only really plot relevant stuff that happens is in the last 2 minutes when they arrive at the Rogue Planet Kingdom. The first 5 minutes of this episode are just kind of filler, but they're still good. It's not like it's not like What Lies Beyond the Solar System, where the first 5 minutes of that were just kind of boring. But like we meet the dwarf planets again, and yeah, I guess I could kind of see why Pluto's a little bit tired. One thing that also I want to be noticed is that Theia. I feel like the Theia arc has just been like the most underutilized arc, because for the Moon Revolution and Planet X arcs, they've used the aftermath of those arcs into the story, and while they've done that with the Theia arc, I still would like to see what if Earth and Luna, or Earth could just tell what Theia and Proto said. In Earth Awakens, he just said, "Oh yeah, Theia and Proto said hi." Like, yeah, tell them more. Like, I would like to see that. Like, Theia has really only been mentioned 3 times in the entire in the Rogue Planets arc. Planet X was like a huge point in the Theia arc, because otherwise Uranus wouldn't have left. Anyways, this scene's pretty good, and I will admit I have gotten a little bit used to Orcus's voice. I will admit. Now, one thing I would like to happen for Gong Gong Solar Balls is, you know how, like, in the Terraforming Mars episodes, where we have, like, the robots, and they have, like, text under them to indicate what they're saying? I would like that for Gong Gong in the future. And just in future episodes, I would like that. Now, Maki Maki, like, interrupts the chat, like, and says, hey, and, also, he actually says Quarwar's name, because the way Sedna said it in the beginning of the Solar System's True Scale Part 3, or the end, it sounded like his name was Barwar. I don't know if that's just Patreon captions being complete ass, or just my ears not malfunctioning, but I had to look on the wiki to figure out that his name was Quarwar, because they never said his name until now. Anyways, they break the laws of physics, and I'm actually kind of curious what's going on with the sun. I'm actually happy that we're not actually, like, doing scene for scene, like, 1 3-parters for what's going on with the rogue planets, and 1 3-parters what's going on for the sun and the planets. I like that. Because, hopefully, Solar Balls does this. This could mean that in the Rogue Planet arc compilation, they do the thing that was in the Moon Revolution arc compilation, where they, like, take different scenes of the episodes and mix them together. So it could be like, oh, this is happening at the same time, and that's cool. Solar Balls, please do this. Anyways, we arrive at the Rogue Planet's kingdom, and PSO is PSOing. Solar Voller did a pretty good job at voicing PSO, that's all I'm saying. We meet Ogle. Yay, I like Ogle. He definitely, like, I feel bad for Ogle, but we'll get to that later. This scene's okay. One thing that I will admit is that in this part, it actually gets fixed in parts 2 and 3. Why in this part you can still kind of see Planet X's outline of his eyes. Well, on the Rogue planets, you can't even see the outline. It's just like black holes. Like, you can still kind of barely see Planet X's outlines on his asset. Which is something, and there will be something that I will definitely mention in part 2. That is coming up. Just don't you worry. Oh boy. We see Wise, making sure that Wise is the only one that has been in every single Rogue Planet episode. And yay, it's all... Simp wasn't in this episode. That's always a good thing. Anyways, but unfortunately, Wise has to break the news and say we will be seeing Simp in the next episode. Yay! Well, we immediately enter Simp, which I could have sworn I was predicting we were going to have, like, a little scene with Wise and Planet X going before Simp, but no, they actually jumped straight into the meeting Simp. So, yay. Now, one thing I think I like Solar Balls is doing, and it's kind of working, is that they don't expect you to take a character named Simp seriously. So whenever she's supposed to be intimidating, they put a 0136 at the end of her name. They actually refer to her by her, like, designation, which I guess works, because Solar Balls is aware that you are not going to be taking a character named Simp seriously. Anyways, we actually meet the rules, which I made a poll on what's your favorite rule, and everyone said giving Simp the middle finger, and okay. Yeah, fuck you, Simp. You big old Simp. Yeah. This is by far when Planet X asked the most questions, god damn it. I think a lot of people actually like my Planet X, like the video I made yesterday of Planet X, the Solar Balls, but it's only Planet X asking too many questions. Anyways, we actually see the rules, and this was actually set in like the What Are Rogue Planets Part 3, where it was like Ogle was mentioning to his friends that Rule 3, if you leave the Rogue Planet's kingdom, you cannot join again. You've got to be committed forever, all right? And then just stares at him awkwardly. That's cool. I like that they I also like that Simp's like, those are the rules. And then we got some peak Solar Balls funny. Let me show you that.
You don't understand anything.
I understand enough. You guys are a
I
cult.
can't tell you more.
Pure comedic timing. I don't know why, but back in like elementary school, cult was one of the words that just you couldn't say. And ever since then, it's just been like engulfed in my brain that cult is a bad word when it really isn't. I've seen plenty of animated movies use it. And just hearing Solar Balls use it is funny. And like that, like. And then we meet where, well, Wise says it's time to meet OTS 44. Yeah. Oh, everyone has been waiting to meet OTS 44. Like, I cannot tell you how many, like, Patreon comments. Like, is OTS 44 canceled? Is OTS 44 even a thing? Like, be patient, damn it. Like, it's that easy. Anyways, the dwarf planets arrive in the Kuiper Belt, and also, this is the first time since the Moon Club yes, I'm serious, the Moon Club, where the second part is the longest part. This is the first time since the Moon Club where the second part is the longest part at 8 minutes and 44 seconds, which is good. We are seeing a lot longer episodes from Solar Balls. Hell, we got a 10-minute episode with the Tale of Two Astronauts being the second longest episode ever. Anyways, Solar Balls also fixed this animation error right here.
You said it. Said what? He just said his own name.
Originally, in the Patreon version, that was actually Mackie who said what? He just said his own name, but with Pluto's voice. And whenever that type of error happens, I wonder if Solar Ball's just not gonna fix it like they did in Lost Earth Part 1. Or if they're gonna, like, change, like, the voice so it could be like, said what? He's just said his own name. Or just change the asset. And they chose the asset. They changed it to Pluto's asset, which kind of makes sense. As I feel like the dwarf planets and the dwarf planet canons each have their own buddies. Like, Maki is paired up with Gong Gong because they both have repeating words, and they both are the smartest out of the four. I feel like Haumea would pair up with Quarwar since they both had rings, and since they both have rings and stuff. And I feel like Sedna would pair up with Eris because they're both female. And also, I feel like Eris is and they're most angry. Like, I feel like Eris is definitely the angriest out of the four. And then Pluto would should team up with Orcus because Orcus is anti-Pluto and all. And they both have, like, southern-ish accents. Or voice crack. Another error it was in the Patreon version was that Wise originally had, like, his design from, like, What Lies Beyond the Solar System with his really small eyes. They actually changed that because, good God, was that noticeable, and it bugged me. Anyways, Planet X meets OTS 44, and yes, OTS does remind me of my own mother. Oh, also, that's the day that Solar Balls was made. So just saying. OTS is a sweet talker, and she gets and this reminds me of my mother because like, good Lord, does like my mom do this a lot. She likes, oh, I'll give you the Solar Balls plushies if you clean your room. But no, before you say that, I am not like Player Dude. I am not like Player Dude. My room is clean. I have photo evidence. Do not go in the comments saying I'm basically a humanoid Player Dude. I am not. I don't care if I have glasses and I have Nancy Pelosi's hair. I am not Player Dude. I have Maki's glasses, and I have green skin. I am not Player Dude. Anyways, but I'm like, oh, but I already have all 13 Solar Balls plushies, and like, there's 13, Jesus. I thought the Astro Dude one was removed from the store. Anyways, Planet X interacts with OTS, and this conversation is actually pretty good. One thing I will admit, though, is that I like the music in the Patreon version. It's just so peaceful, and then they changed it to something less peaceful. They only have the peaceful music for, like, 10 seconds. This isn't really, like, a huge change, but in the Patreon version, Planet X says, failed stars? Wait, so... what, failed stars? I didn't know that. Which I think a lot of people didn't like because, he already knew that Wise was a failed star and what lies in What Are Rogue Plans Part 1. But they changed it to saying, wait, so you're also, meaning he knows what a brown dwarf is. Okay, he already knew Wise was one, but okay. Now it's time to talk about something. That being this. If you don't know what this is called an asset gap. And this has been a huge problem with Solar Balls ever since they had the new assets. I don't know why, but if you look at the bottom, the asset just kind of stops and it's a black void. This animation error really is just sad because this is something I could see like bad animators doing. Like, this is a mistake that I really, like, when I find animation errors, I really like when they fix them, but, like, it's always cool, that's why I point them out so much. This one, I'm trying to tell Solar Balls, hey, this has been an issue, because it's not only happening with Planet X, it happened with Wise in some other episodes. If you look on the list of errors on the Solar Balls wiki, that's where I find most of these. Some of these I find myself. But, good Lord, is this like what? What is happening here? Anyways, I'm moving on. Anyways, OTS reveals that everyone's failed stars and yada yada yada. This scene's good. I mean, the entire episode is good, except for the scene with Simp. I like how, like, the 5 images that Solar Balls always reveals before the day before the episode comes out had literally, actually kind of confused a lot of people because they didn't know what was gonna happen. Like, it wasn't even connected to the preview because all those 5 images were in, like, the dwarf, 2 of them were in the dwarf planet scene. One was that brief scene with all the planets and when OTS was explaining the real enemies are stars. Anyways, and one was like the formed planet, which everyone was assuming was a flashback that OTS had formed, which I found really cool. I thought they were really good choices for what images you were. Good job, Solar Balls, you did it. Anyways, I like the scene when we figure out who the real enemy is. Stars. So, I actually somewhat agree with this. This is a reasonable take. Stars are massive time bombs. They have single-handedly caused the destruction of most planets in the universe's history. They make you all believe you're part of a happy star system family, but in reality, you're their prisoner bound by gravity. Sooner or later, they either go supernova or become red giants. In both cases, almost no planet survives. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I'm a great voiceover, actually. That was actually a pretty good one. I'm impressed with myself. Anyways, that is actually a pretty good claim. The stars are kind of dangerous. They're gonna when they die, all the planets die as well. Like boom, you're all done. Yeah, unless you're like Kufubadasur and just barely escaped, but boom, or like they're basically like a giant bomb. And they like force, and it's also a good contrast to what's going on with the solar system. Like, you could, it's like the sun is losing it on the planets, and metaphorically, he is a bit of a bomb. Like, he has lost it. He has exploded on the planets, forcing them to go on different punishments and share an orbit, which will inevitably kill all of them. Anyways, OTS reveals the plan to liberate every planet, which means that they're just gonna get all the planets away from their stars. That was a really good episode. So on to part 3. We cut back to Simp and Wise, which yeah, part 3 is pretty good, but I will admit it is kind of my least favorite of the Rogue Planet army. Part 3 is still really good. It's way better than some of the stuff we've been getting from like the solar. Yeah, it's way better. I'm actually, this is probably one of my most positive reviews that might actually stick. Unlike my solar system is empty review. Do not watch that one. Anyways, Wise so Simp tells Wise to go charge up and back to his post, which this is where I have a theory. And I'm saying this before Solar Boss Theory says this, yeah. But, like, and I'm gonna reveal that at the end of the video, so we're just gonna skip to that. One thing I find weird is that Wise calls her Your Majesty, and I thought that, I could have sworn they called her Supreme Leader Simp, which I like a little bit better. Thank you, Supreme Leader Simp! You have made Planet X return to the Rogue Planet Kingdom! Oh, bow down for the Supreme Leader Simp 0136! Oh, I never thought I would see the day where I'm face to face with a red Rogue Planet Simp 0136! Anyways, we cut back to Planet X and OTS 44, where, it's just basically the aftermath of what happened. The scene's okay. Not as good as the OTS scene from last episode, but it's just okay. I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't actually hear OTS tell why Planet X is important. We have to cut back to Planet X confronting Simp and him revealing to Simp what OTS said. That is something that I would have liked. I would have liked if we actually hear what OTS said to Planet X. Whatever. We actually see Wise interacting with the dwarf planets, which means the dwarf planets aren't actually just here to see what they're doing. Yay! Like, in the past 2 episodes, I kind of found the dwarf planet scenes as padding the runtime. This time, they're actually really important to the episode. So they're actually, like, out... Setna explains that there are now rogue planets now, which, no. Sharon's a rogue moon. That's got me thinking. What if, do any of the rogue planets have moons, and are they just moons or rogue moons? Like, is Sharon a rogue moon? Because Sharon's not a dwarf planet, and Triton didn't go back to being a dwarf planet. Like, I do like when they say dwarf planet to moon, back to dwarf planet, and now rogue planet. That's gotta be our new record. Anyways, now when I showed my mom this, she laughed, like, full-on laughed when Quarwar called the sun Big Yellow, which I have no idea why, but I don't know why. I don't know. Why did you find that funny, Ma? Anyways, Wise interacts with the dwarfist planetsisms, and Maki says, "I'm fanboying so hard right now," which okay. Maki Maki, you're still my favorite dwarf planet. Gong Gong, you're a close second. Anyways, Triton and Sedna confront Wise, and I don't know, like, why didn't they have to go through the test that Plan X did? Like they just ask, hey, can we see your leader? And like, okay, sure, I don't care. Why can't they go through the test? This is bullshit. Ugh. Anyways, oh, poor Ogle. Ugh. I feel so bad for Ogle. This has got to be relevant to the story now. Plan X just straight up ignoring Ogle, because Ogle wants to be his friend. Plan X is just too focused on how he lost Proteus that he can't... He's ignoring that Ogle wants to be his friend, because this has now happened twice. The exact same scenario has happened twice. It's got to be relevant to the story. The only time Planet X did a friendly gesture to Ogle was in Rogue Planet Army Part 1 when he said, hey, Ogle, we went on a long recruiting mission. That was a terrible Jason impression. Oh, good God. Anyways, I really liked when Planet X said, Simp! I think Alvaro told Jason, like, okay, you're gonna have to yell Simp at the top of your lungs, and you gotta make sure your neighbors don't think you're crazy. Okay? Alright, cool. So, alright, go take it away. And then Jason's like, Simp! Probably multiple times, because that was just funny. I really wanted to write that for the Solar Balls Iconic Lines quiz, but I know I was wondering, because this episode hadn't been released on YouTube yet. I was like, okay, that's not gonna win, because I don't know if they're gonna accept Patreon lines. So I decided to go with the one in the previous episode where Planet X said, "Yeah, I understand enough. You guys are a cult," and I wrote that one instead of I really wanted to write the simp one. So that's all I'm saying. Anyways, we actually reveal some of Simp's main motives. Yay! Simp's main goal is to make Planet X lure the planets out of their solar system. So he can get the Earth to tell them how he got life. Now, people are suspecting this is how he got the origins of life, and I'm gonna tell you, Alvaro said that the origins of life would not be involved in this arc. He's gonna release it after this arc, so don't expect this is gonna how it connect to the origins of life. But they still want to know how Earth got life, and I hope that this is how we can kind of get more of the Theia stuff connecting to the story. Because while, the planets got out of their orbits, and that's how, but even if the planets weren't in their orbits, Planet X would still meet Simp, and they would still lure the planets out. So, in reality, the Theia arc doesn't really do much in the Rogue Planets arc, like all the other arcs aftermaths lead to the next arc. Hopefully, when the Simp asks the Earth how to get life, it's like, this is how Theia and the Theia arc actually gets into the Rogue Planets arc. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, so since OTS formed planets, they think that if they have the right temperatures and do exactly what Theia and Proto did, with minus the colliding part. I mean, maybe you might need to do the colliding part, not sure. Then, if they have life, they could convince so many other people to join the cause. You know which is actually a good plan. It's if the Moon Revolution, but they actually care more about recruiting them than just but it actually worked. Anyways, now a lot of people were mad that Planet X was defending the sun. I think that Planet X defending the sun is actually a really good point. Planet X has not seen anything of the sun losing his shit. The only time he did a thing that the sun that he was kind of mixed on was the sun banishing Ganymede and Europa. He has not seen that the sun making the moon's orbit the inner solar system and the planets orbit the outer solar system. He has not seen the planets at true scale, and he has not seen making all planets share one orbit. So, he does not know the sun at his worst. At his most evil. Sure, maybe he did watch when the sun separated Theia and Proto-Earth, but I actually think he was busy learning how to, like, because it was stated that he did know about Thea's crash, but I don't think he was, like, really. I think that's just something like, oh, I know that Thea crashed, but I wasn't actually really watching it. Oh, okay. Maybe he watched, like, after the crash part 2, but didn't watch the actual crash. So, like, I think that Planet X just, like, was busy, like, figuring out how to decelerate, and was not paying attention. So, that could have been why, so he has never seen the sun at his worst. So him defending the sun, because the sun actually helped him in many cases. The sun was the one, he was trying to side with the sun in order to punish Jupiter. The sun bashed Jupiter for his crimes. The sun managed to set the challenge up that he wanted, and the sun is the only one that actually doesn't really want to punish Planet X. He actually kind of respects Planet X, and didn't immediately yell at him when he really kind of destroyed all the moons. Because in reality, that was kind of the sun's choice. Like, the sun chose Asteroid Dodgeball to be the game. Like, I don't think we should all be bullying Planet X here. The name of the game is to yoink asteroids at everyone. That's all I'm saying. The sun is also partially in the blame because he decided the challenge would be Asteroid Dodgeball. He could have made it something peaceful. Whatever, it's fine. Anyways, I've been rambling, but I do like that the Planet X is defending the sun because he does not know that the sun has been a greedy tyrant. Anyways, everyone I like that also that Sedna, Quadwar, and Gong Gong are big fans of Planet X because, and it just reminds me of Solar Ballerama when Sedna was actually the first one to interact with Planet X and called him Spez. And, like, I don't know why, I just find that funny. Planet X was originally supposed to be their leader in Solar Ballerama. I find that funny. Now, a lot of people, not a lot of people, I found it really fun, really cool, that Planet X was defending the sun, all to have the dwarf planets come in and say, yeah, the sun's being like a little dictator. He's kind of being like, he's kind of putting the planets, he's making Neptune kind of like, it's like if COVID, but you're kind of stuck in one place. No, I meant like, okay, that's like where the COVID is. Like, you're making Neptune sick. Like, Neptune needs to get better, son. Have you not noticed that? I feel bad for Neptune. I like that also the main issue isn't the Earth. I like that Neptune is actually the main center of focus on what planet might be, like, destroyed first. He's sick, and the sun's not doing anything about that. So, that's cool. Good job, Solar Balls. Anyways, Planet X decides, with all the drama going on, the sun's actually a greedy tyrant, that Planet X decides to accept. I certify like this. I like that he didn't just accept within one episode, but it took all 3 parts for him to consider accepting, ultimately till the end of part 3 when he chose to accept. Yay. So now Planet X is officially in the Rogue Planet Kingdom. I would know now typically actually I wouldn't know what's next, but since the last episode was focused on Astro Dude and Cosmo, I don't really know about that. So actually I'm kind of wondering, I wonder what's going to happen in the Planet Revolution. That's interesting. Anyways, now it's time for that theory I was mentioning, and what's going on with that. So let me explain. So when we first meet Wise in What Lies Beyond the Solar System, Wise is seems very do I really gotta be here? I don't want to be here and shit. Wise is just fed up. He does not want to be here. He makes his test quick, and I actually feel like that's kind of why What Are Rogue Planets Part 1 was 6 minutes and 15 seconds. It's one way of showing that Wise did not want to be here for that long. He just wanted to wrap things up and get to the Rogue Planet Kingdom. And you want to know the best part? When we got to the Rogue Planet Kingdom, the episodes started getting longer. They got like 8 minutes and stuff. Like, that, I feel like that could be one way of showing why Wise just does not want to be here. So, assuming that Wise does not like his post near the solar system, he could have some trauma going from somewhere around there. Now, this may sound a little bit of a stretch, but maybe, because Wise could have been a planet in Proxima Centauri. Hear me out. This is Solar Balls did say we would see Proxima Centauri again, and Wise. And Proxima Centauri is the closest star. It's 4.35 light years. So maybe but if Wise orbited Proxima Centauri, Wise is probably just bigger than Proxima Centauri. So maybe Wise was actually making the orbits worse because maybe he was like the Jupiter, but instead he's bigger than Proxima Centauri. So maybe he was making the orbits worse for the other planets there. So the other planets kind of bullied him to the point where he just kind of did what Jupiter said he would do in Planet X Returns Part 1 and said, you know what, I'm just going to leave. So he left, and that could have killed all the other planets. So he could have felt guilty knowing that he just kind of did it. Like, look at the face that he makes when Planet X calls him a failed star. Look at this face. I've already used this in my son's ruined character video. But, like, Wise looks so sad. Like, look at him. He looks so sad. So maybe he just does not like being down near the solar system because, he's like, that's the closest solar system to Proxima Centauri. And of all the trauma he's caused. So maybe Wise is also in the other episodes, so that's also why he may have been on the fence of like going back to his post. When Simp said, go back to your post near the solar system, Wise seemed a little on edge about that. Why could that be? I don't know. But so maybe Wise becomes a traitor. Wise is probably the most likely out of any rogue planet other than Planet X to become a traitor, to abandon the Rogue Planet Kingdom. I could see him doing that because he's on edge on some of Simp's decisions. So maybe he was the only one who knew where the solar system was, and maybe, just maybe, Planet X also becomes Planet X is 1000% becoming betraying the Rogue Planet Kingdom. There's no questions. Planet X is definitely betraying the Rogue Planet Kingdom. But what if Wise and Planet X both betray the kingdom, and those were the only two that knew where the solar system was? So maybe, just maybe, they need another way to figure out where the solar system was. Now, you may think the dwarf planets would tell them, but maybe Wise or Planet X tells them they want the Earth, and like they're gonna be under new management, like Solar Balls Theory said, and they're gonna like tell them what happened, what's going on, and then the dwarf planets just won't do anything. They'll go back to this. They'll just hang out with Wise and Planet X because, knowing that they just kind of want all the planets to join they want to get rid of all the stars. So maybe they need a way to figure out where the stars are. I think I found it. You want to know what a way to figure out? You want to know what has a way to get to that? You want to know what a known thing in the Solar Balls universe heading towards the Rogue Planet Kingdom that can tell you where the stars are?
Yep, things like how to find our sun. Oh no, Voyager! Guillermo!